down the throats of Kenyans. Kenyans, in their righteous anger, stormed the state-captured parliament and took back their delegated power under Article 1 of the Constitution of Kenya. The Kenya Kwisha regime crossed the red line. They literally crossed the Rubicon with devastating consequences. It was an unparalleled moment in our 61-year-old history. From all accounts, more than 200 Kenyans lost their lives while exercising their constitutional right to peaceably assemble, demonstrate, and picket. From our accounts, of the 200, 157 were killed last night by police in Githurai at the outskirts of Nairobi. These numbers are more than likely to rise up. At parliament buildings, lives of more than 50 protesters, including a journalist and medical doctor, were cut short by the police who were on a shoot-to-kill order. Further to the shock of the nation, the Cabinet Secretary for Defense issued a Gazette notice deploying the military to assist the police in dealing with the unrest without approval of the National Assembly as required by the Constitution of Kenya. This morning, the KK regime attempted to camouflage the betrayal of the constitutional provisions and parliamentary procedures requiring that such motions pass through the House Business Committee. Fellow Kenyans, these acts have never been witnessed in our 61-year-old history, nor in decades that our forefathers struggled to obtain our independence. What Kenya, the region, Africa, and the world is witnessing on a minute-by-minute cycle is the unveiling of one dictator, William Ruto. Ruto, in his purported address to the nation, failed to acknowledge the cause of the unrest that lies solely in his person. Ruto never condoled the fallen and their families, and instead congratulated the brute police for killing innocent and unarmed Kenyans. This was in the same fashion he did last year, where 75 Kenyans were killed during the maandamano, and he congratulated the police for a job well done, quote unquote. This is the brutal Ruto that we warned the country about even then. In his address, Ruto attempted to suspend the Constitution of Kenya by terming the rights to protest under Article 37 as treasonous and our youth as dangerous criminals. He has gone further to declare martial law and in the process deployed the military and therefore war against his own citizens. Thereby declaring war against his own citizens. This is unacceptable, as indeed it is unconstitutional. Ruto must also tell the nation who these abettors, funders, and orchestrators of the anti-finance bill demonstrations, as he alleged last night, are. If he does not review the names, it means that the hijackings, abductions, and incommunicado detentions will continue. We demand an end to the Gestapo-like abductions, killings, and immediate release of all abductees. As Azimio, we will fight to defend the Constitution of Kenya. We shall also be challenging the unlawful actions of William Ruto and his murderous regime. We appreciate the concern of the international community, including the United Nations, that have weighed in on this crisis. They have condemned the innocent killings of the protesters whose rights are protected under our Constitution. Indeed, the basic freedoms under Chapter 4 of our Constitution. Article 11, the African Union Charter, and the Union Charter on Human Rights. They have all asked Ruto to stop the killings and dialogue with the Kenyan people. As to whether William Ruto will listen or not is actually what stands between Kenya and total disaster. It is not too late for Ruto to pull the country back from the brink by declining to assent to this oppressive Finance Bill 2024 and sending it back to Parliament for withdrawal and further engagement as demanded by Kenyans and the international community. From here, this brigade will proceed to Kenyatta National Hospital and other areas where victims of KK terror are, in order to condole and support the families and communities of the affected. And if there's some blood donation required, these members of parliament and other Kenyans who wishes, because we gather these atrocities are continuing and therefore the need to donate blood. If there's anything further, maybe my colleagues may want to add one or two things. So the whole thing really depends on William Ruto. Let him climb down and do the necessary thing. Everybody, including the UN Secretary General, everybody is calling for dialogue. And this is a very small window. We want also to ask the army, who have now in a very quick manner been brought into the picture, to know that their responsibility is to actually guard our borders. We do not expect the police and the Bugey who have been killing Kenyans, that the army would want to fall into that trap. Therefore, we ask that they exercise absolute restraint, and so that Kenyans can at least get their country back. Anything? No. Thank you. If there's any question, you want to say something? Any question? Or any question? Maybe JN can answer, or Eugene. We are all together, by the way. We are in touch. We are in touch with Baba. We're in touch with Baba. He's following this very serious, particularly the happenings in Githurai. All of us are very concerned. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Nani ameoa vijana wa